Alright, quick video this morning related to the Cup Series at the ROVAL. Let's kind of just quickly go through and really highlight the one aspect of the ROVAL that we don't necessarily get to, throw out of the other road courses, and that's the fact that people don't have to pit before the end of the stage. So let's go ahead and just look back at the 4 years that we've been running this crappy track. And firstly, rather, I can't wait for something to break on these cars, man. I would highly be concerned about the suspensions breaking entering NASCAR Turn 1 over the course of this race, over the course of the weekend. Can we predict that? No. But at this point, I'm expecting this car to fall apart, which will be even funnier because this is the track that was the focal point for this stupid car. Okay, we ran so many tests here. We ran so many tests with this track in mind for this next gen car, so when it's a joke of a race, when the car starts breaking, when it starts acting stupid, just laugh even harder. Okay. Let's just really quickly, this is the first year we got real stupid. Everybody followed Keselowski into turn 1, but let's just pay attention to the fact that we are pretty much guaranteed a caution in the first stage. We'll see. This was a gigantic incident late in this race. Don't think we're necessarily going to see that, but we're going to notice that we have a wreck. We have a caution at least in stage 1, sometimes in stage 2, and this is the 2019. This is the 2020 race, and what happens again? Now, granted, we did have a competition caution as well, but look, we had somebody stalled. So far, we've had a wreck every single year in the first stage, and most of the time in the second stage as well, whether it's debris, whether it's somebody spinning out and not being able to move. Like I said, with this car and the thing's breaking, I would not be shocked to see somebody stranded at some point, or just lose power in this race, or completely just run out of talent and crash. Okay, all we need is just a one car incident that'll bring out a yellow, just because that's how NASCAR rolls. So the past 4 races here, we have not had a clean stage 1 or stage 2, and so when we're looking at these races and we're looking at, oh well, who pitted before the stage, who did this, who did that, I don't think it's worth really paying attention to that. Most teams are going to have the strategy decided for themselves when a caution comes out, whether it's in stage 1, whether it's in stage 2. So we're not really playing a bunch of mind games here. We're not really worried, or we're not really concerned with, fading guys because they're going to stay out to get stage points, trying to chase the guys who aren't going to stay or who aren't going to short pit or whatever. Like, we don't have to necessarily worry about that. Let's go ahead and look through the previous couple races here in terms of what is going on with my mouse, man. See, these are the ROVAL laps. I want to find the and you can get this if you go to the Patreon and support me, support Pearce and everything. If I can find this stupid thing. Okay, so here's the 2018 ROVAL. As I said, we had just a gigantic wreck here late in the race that everybody just followed Keselowski into the first turn. And so it just destroyed a ton of these guys. But when we look specifically at this, we had Larson, who basically ran away with the entire race, ended up being taken out in that. And basically all the lap sled points and fast lap points were completely removed. And so when we're looking at how these guys ended up scoring and how they end up doing, it was just place differential plays coming through. When we look at the 2019 race, let's see. Nothing like going through the notes and seeing Pearce write this. So, yeah, are these notes wrong? I don't believe so. Are these notes inaccurate? I don't believe so. But yet again, when we look at the amount of people, like front runners being taken out in this race, this is a race where, yes, Chase Elliott did, for the most part, run away with the race. But we're seeing, in terms of fast laps, in terms of having the fastest car, but we're seeing laps led distributed between 3 guys here as we continue to move forward. And the reason I'm looking through this and just getting an idea of, in terms of projections or in terms of what I want to do, we don't want to get too crazy. Granted, we don't have a lot of laps anyway, but we are seeing that. Even Byron at $8,600 was forced out of the optimal line here with 55 points. Who got in there because like Byron was able to get in here, a place differential play of Custer, a place differential play of Eric Jones, a place differential play of Stenhouse, and then your one value play, which I'm assuming he outscored everybody else in the $5,000 and in the 6K range, which that is the case. We're having everybody else in the 5K range just score around 20, and it was just the one 5K driver that went through. I think the 2020 ROVAL, in terms of the optimal line, is probably going to be the closest to what we are going to deal with this week or this weekend, just due to the fact that we're probably going to have 2 of the 3 major lap leaders in it, and then just chasing fucking place differential that we're going to get in. And I hate to say that, because then it just goes to, well, let's wait for qualifying and then just chase place differential points. But the ROVAL, more so than some of the other races, which we already have, place differential coming through on some of the road courses anyway. But this race specifically is one where I think it's going to be 4 major place differential plays. And so whether it's somebody just whiffing on their Q lap, or not even whiffing on their Q lap, just being stuck in a poor group, or being stuck in a packed group that ends up qualifying, towards the rear, and really guaranteeing. I think it's probably going to be at least 15 or more place differential plays. Let's go ahead and look at last year's ROVAL race, and we need to remember that last year is when NASCAR completely just absolutely didn't give a shit about the rules and let and waited for Chase Elliott to lose a bumper cover before they threw the yellow, because Chase Elliott is NASCAR's favorite driver, which is yet again why the Talladega race was so fucking shitty. It's not the fact that nobody wrecked. It's the fact that everybody fucked around and let Chase Elliott win that stupid ass race. That pissed me off more than anything. Fuck Chase Elliott. Fuck everybody. Fuck NASCAR, dude. I hate Chase Elliott so much. Him and LaJoy. Just please retire, you freaking goobers. But yeah, when we look at this race, and we look like we didn't have a ton of guys DNF it. Like, yes, Chase Elliott intimidated Kevin Harvick, and he drove himself into the wall. But I mean, look at these guys back here, and man, AJ Allmendinger had a stupid fast car and blew a motor. Unbelievable. That was unfortunate. I was super heavy on AJ. But like I said, we're having wrecks in these races. I would not count on this race going green. I would not count on this race playing strategy or anything for certain people. Look, I want to try and land on 2 of the 3 major lap leaders, and then just chase place differential from there on out. Let's go ahead and look at how these guys played out. Let's see if that kind of follows my philosophy. So the fast laps were completely spread out between guys just running in the top 10 and guys who had the fastest car. Like Reddick forced to start in the rear just due to a bad queue time. Really underpriced, $7,800. Clearly, we're not going to get somebody like that who has that fast of a car. But when we look at lap leaders, it's actually only 1 lap leader who makes it in here, because Hamlin gets bumped out, Byron gets bumped out because they're scoring mid-40s, and the place differential plays are coming through. And so when we're looking more at this, and we're looking at how stupid NASCAR is running, not how stupid NASCAR like as the organization, but how stupid these races have been this year. The GPP play, I would probably stick to trying to chase 2 of the lap leaders. I would probably argue the pole sitter. So let's go ahead and just quickly, and that's why I like using. I mean, I like seeing these the breakdown of points for a fantasy perspective, but I like looking at just racing reference because it's easy for me to see. A pole sitter led 7 laps in the first year. Pretty sure he led 23. Year 2. Pretty sure he got wrecked in one of these. Didn't lead at all in year 3, and Chase Elliott, well, that's because Chase Elliott was starting second. It's really dependent on who's starting there. So let's go ahead and look at these. Let's go ahead and look at these starters real fast. At least for me, this is just easier for me to visualize stuff. That's why I like using the sheet. I'm just looking at racing reference because it's very easy. Let's see. Kyle Larson had the best car first year in practice. Was able to get through the field, but Kurt Busch leads. And I want to see if it's more so the pole sitter. So I have to go back and look to see if the practice data from that. But I'm assuming that William Byron had a fantastic car, and Harvick was showing absolutely tremendous speed that year. 2020. Chase Elliott, Keselowski here. Chase Elliott clearly gone amongst road courses last year. Hamlin starts first, clearly Keselowski wasn't going to lead. Chase Elliott started too deep in the field. Kyle Busch had a good car as well. So, just as a glance right now, when we're looking at top 5, and when we're looking at top 5, I'm probably going to follow the best 2 guys in terms of laps, in terms of practice speed, and combined with qualifying and stuff. So not only do these guys have to qualify well, they're going to qualify, or they're going to, out qualify other groups that they're in, and then re-qualify again for the pole and stuff. And so we'll have a lot of data and a lot of instances, or a lot of isolated instances to look at the guys in the top 5 and understand who probably has the best car between them. I would lean, due to the way that we're going to end up qualifying, that the pole sitter, unless it's kind of why I hate making these before. Like, I assume that the pole sitter is probably going to be one of the top 3 fastest guys in his group, and then he's going to qualify again front. But I also want to compare that with his practice time and how many times he ran on the track and things like that. I'm going to lean specifically on practice speed for trying to nail my lap leaders and stuff. And then, like I said, just we're going to be chasing place differential from here, okay? And so, like, when we look back at the previous years, yes, Cole Custer got let's go back and look just real fast and try and understand why certain people did things without looking at the lap by lap data real fast. And so, who's qualifying back here? Bubba was involved in a crash. Let's see, Newman, the 31 car. We could very easily see that him, Hamlin, we're going to gain positions. I would argue that these guys were also there, but they drove into this gigantic wreck fest there as well. So we're seeing a lot of good drivers just the first year qualifying the back that we can see is clear and obvious, like place differential plays. Year 2, when we were here, clearly we're not playing the punts, but we're seeing that, okay, look, we're having Dillon there, we're having Hamlin qualify back there again. We're seeing Kurt Busch, Stenhouse, Chase Elliott, like good cars and everything. Kyle Busch, who was taken out due to a suspension issue, qualifies 17th. 2 years ago, who's qualifying back here? That is a standout. If you want to argue McDowell, Jimmy Johnson, this is when he wrecked, right? Pretty sure it is. Pretty sure. I don't remember exactly. Pretty sure this is when Johnson wrecked. This is the one where Blaney won? No, it's not. Oh, no, Blaney didn't. He was right. I don't remember. All these races just blend together. But we're seeing place different. Yeah, Blaney. This is the one where Blaney and Johnson wrecked. Blaney, ton of place differential in the 20s. Last year, yet again, we're having Cole Custer start in the back. We're having Ryan Newman, despite the fact he was involved in a wreck, start there. De Benedetto. Let's see, AJ, who just had a tremendous car, man. AJ was so fast last year. Let's look at that real fast. Because I played a ton of AJ, and I am not sure if he's in the. And I hate whenever people are like that because you don't know the entry list, you aren't paying attention. Well, no, dude, I go off of DraftKings, okay? I go off of what they have in the pool on DraftKings and stuff. That's my bread and butter. Let's see if we can find the laps for last year's ROVAL race because AJ looked pretty fucking fast if I remember correctly. Yeah, AJ was killing it. So this is even under green. I mean, AJ flew through that field, man. You know? I'm down to chase place differential pretty heavy this week, man. I really do. I don't think we're probably gonna have most of the plays. We're probably gonna not have a min salary guy. I think the lowest that we're gonna have, because I'm recording this on Wednesday morning, so we haven't had the salaries come out. I'm guessing that we're probably gonna have the cheapest guy be like $4,800. We're probably gonna be pushing people like we're not playing LaJoy, we're not playing the Rick Ware guys. I don't necessarily want to play any of the one-off starters and stuff like the money team and things like that. I think that's Connor Daly. So we're probably going to be having to choose between like Ty Dillon again, probably Cole Custer again. Probably going to have like honestly 2 guys to pick from that are going to be probably high 5K or low 6K ranges. At that point, I don't think we're gonna have anybody like around like $11,000. We'll probably have somebody around, probably have the highest like Elliott, like 10.6, 10.8, 10.5, somewhere around there. I'd like chasing, specifically by when we're looking at where are we at here? Sorry, I have to keep standing up because this is my camera blocks my bottom thing there. In my opinion, and I'm just using this because just looking at how this optimal came through, we're probably going to be one lower here. Like if we're looking at optimals here, which we're seeing this one, we're seeing sorry, I'm like clicking through stuff. Where the hell is my roll here? So we're seeing this. I think this is the one. So 2020, as I said, as I was going through it, I think it's very much like this. We have one 5K guy. The three other place differential plays are going to probably come from the 8K range, the 7K range and stuff. Probably two 10K guys, one 10K, one 9K guy, but I think it is going to very much be a place differential. The best place differential plays between $9,000 and probably $7,000. Like the three best plays in that range are going to be optimal, in my opinion. Looking at these races and stuff, and this is, like I said, kind of an early preview and stuff. I don't know. I kind of hate races that we have to wait for qualifying, but that's really what it is. Like, doesn't matter how they perform this year, they're gonna get stupid. NASCAR will throw a yellow for something to try and bunch the field back up and stuff, or something's just gonna break. I would not be shocked to see suspension failures in this race due to the fact that they haven't gone this long on a track like this that is very aggressive, that is very rough on equipment. I just want to post that out there because I got to do a drive. I will be back probably, hopefully, Thursday. If not, I will be back Friday morning. But wanted to put this out there for you and wanted to have you to have something to look at and listen to. If you want to support me, support Pearce, and look at more of this stuff in more detail. If you want to go through each and like every one of the lap by lap data for each of these races, you can support me and support Pearce and go to our Patreon and support us there. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully this kind of gives you like an early preview for the ROVAL. Thank you very much.